Hey everybody, welcome to the Bearthoughts podcast. We do this every Friday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, or if you're on the Eastern Coast, 6 o'clock, and for those in the West, between, what, 4
Hey,
or 3, depending on how far west you are.
depends on where you are.
Yeah, so you can be sure to, mark your calendars and leave a comment down below and share it with all your family and friends. Help us grow this channel. I do appreciate it. We should have more clips and shorts going up today. I got some more made, so should be having more shorts for those who like the shorts. Be sure to like them. Leave a comment on all of them you can. That helps out my channel tremendously. You have no idea. Today is a bit of mournful day. We're gonna be talking about that a little bit because these are things that impact our things, and I have to get a little conversation before we get into the meats and potatoes, and then we can go into them. So let's do that later on. Rollover should be here for those who did not know. Rollovers is one of our associates, one of our friends in the community. So he might be showing up mid podcast. So we'll get him and join in the conversation and get some of his thoughts as well. Of course, we always have the disembodied stealth F Jade solely off screen, but she's there. There she is. So let's just talk about this real fast, and I want to get your thoughts. What was, and this is a jumping conversation, I know, but when you were a kid, what was the very first anime you ever watched? Do you remember?
First anime I ever watched was Akira.
Akira, and it was a movie, right? And what age do you think
Yep.
you watched that at?
Sometime in the 80s. I was in the single digits.
So you were way below age of appropriate for watching it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yep.
my first movie was, it was actually a movie as well. It was I remember mine was on the Sci-Fi Channel. Do you remember having Sci-Fi Channel when you were younger?
Yep.
And it was always on weekends and the late hours. I'm talking about like past 11, 10 o'clock in the evening, where they started showing the animes, because most of the times most parents would have their kids in bed. My mom's side didn't have Sci-Fi, but my grandma on my dad's side did have Sci-Fi, whatever reason, because my dad liked Star Trek and he was really big into that, and that anime hour. And the first movie I saw was actually I don't know how you pronounce it, so forgive me this one. Urusai Yatoshira. It's the girl with like the leopard leggings and leopard bikini, a leopard strap, and she had two little horns on her head.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
And every
about.
time she got mad at her fiance or boyfriend, she would grab his ass and electrocute the shit out of him. And I was all into, like, whatever this world is, it's fantastic. I loved it. Then I saw eventually saw Akira. Eventually I saw Heavy Metal 2000. You ever see that one? Heavy Metal
Yes,
2000?
I did.
Like, most people think like, oh, that's a cartoon. Like, not quite. Go watch it. It's pretty wild. And then I saw one of the movie where I've told this before. I found this anime. If anybody out there knows this anime movie, please let me know. Anime movie where the world is pretty much wiped out. He wakes up, don't know what happened, everybody's dead, and a girl comes down to him from a planet that's up in the sky, comes down, they become lovers, they make love, and then one day she disappears, and he wakes up at the end of the movie, and with a message going on from his mom and dad saying, yeah, you're the last two survivors using your girlfriend, and you to repopulate the world, and looks at the chamber beside him, and it's destroyed, and it's his girlfriend, she is dead. So the girl in his dream was his girlfriend that was in the chamber beside him, and the chamber was destroyed. So, it was an opera, you might say. It was one of those kind of things where
Yeah.
it had a sad ending rather than a yay happy ever after. No, this was bad.
It was a bitter it was a bittersweet. He woke up to reality only to find he was alone.
Yeah, like in reality, like real reality. Like his dream world wasn't really far off from the truth. And I guess when she disappeared in his dream, I guess that's when she actually died, because like she just one day just stopped showing up, and just disappeared. Like woo. Okay, so do you have any memories of your first time watching Dragon Ball Z?
Oh, dude. I think I was 12. 13, something like that,
Okay.
and was very curious as to why this kid was so ignorant to everything else.
So did you ever watch the original Dragon Ball? Like, do you, like in your
Yeah,
order? Did you watch Dragon Ball first, then Dragon Ball Z, or was it?
yeah. I watched Dragon Ball, then it was Dragon Ball Z. Um, and then what was it? Dragon Ball GT or something like
Yeah.
that. And then it kept going. I got as far as like GT going one episode after the other, and then
Hmm.
after that it was kind of sporadic.
Yeah. I watched Dragon Ball Z first, then GT. Then I finally went, wait, I know there's a Dragon Ball. I seen it before. I gotta go back and watch all of it. And I did go back and watch all of that. I'd say that's the kind of things. And there's a reason why we're talking about this. We'll get to a little later on. What about the do you remember the Red versus Blue Rooster Teeth special?
Yes,
Yeah, you remember that? Remember that series as well? Were you very fond into Halo back then?
I was all right with Halo. I wasn't as big into Halo then as I come to be later.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's mainly because I was I was still trying to get my feet under me when it come to like first person shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have actually like really memorable um animes or TV shows like that that is no longer playing anymore, or just or
I got one. It's not like put out to stream, but you can still buy the media to watch it.
mm-hmm.
Record of the Lotus Wars was a big one for me. That series seriously put me down the path of anime.
Yeah. It's kind of like Berserk. When I first saw that show and that TV series, and I was going, I want more, and then found out there's a manga of it, and then a couple years pass, or a year passed maybe now. The writer of the show is no longer with us, and I thought it was sad for sure, but I wasn't very much keeping up with the manga, and I'm trying to say it here is like it's kind of wild of all these things that we once loved and cared for in our younger years is either that we kind of fell off of it or we are no longer keeping track of it so much to the point
Right,
we almost forget that the people that make it are human.
right,
It's almost we're forgetful that the people that are making these things are either a still alive or they just no longer make stuff. They're human. They get tired of it. They're getting old with it, and it's kind of like with me making my manga. I don't want to be doing if I when I'm starting it and then let's say it does go off and start doing good. I don't want to be a long running series. I want it maybe if I had the choice 2 seasons. That's it and stop. Full stop. Don't care if people love it that much. I don't want to go more than that because I don't want to be dragging something on forever and someday I just
yeah. But
stop.
the other side of that is if it becomes something that you enjoy over those 2 seasons, something that you have more to give and you want to give, you know,
Mhm.
I think you should allow yourself. I think anybody should allow themselves the freedom to do it as long as they want to do it and not try to put a benchmark on it.
Yeah. Um, and for the person for Berserk, the guy that make it, I'm trying to remember his name here. I'm not very good with names. Let me see. Who made goodness gracious, my spelling. Um, okay, let's see. The original, yeah. Who made it? Don't just give me a description. Um, Neo Yato Tayakashi. Sorry for mispronouncing this name. Not very much in dyslexia too, but you're not very much a Japanese person, so I don't say people's names correctly. I just sucked that he couldn't finish off of his scenes. And I know in Japan's culture, and maybe not in America's culture, where if something were to happen, let's say to a voice actor or to a writer, in Japan, that's it. Like that character will either never show up in the show again, voice actor, or the manga won't continue on because, well, the creator of it is no longer alive, right? And once that is gone, there's not going to be any more because they're done. But in America, let's say Superman, Batman, they're still going. Like the original creator is already gone and passed, and they're just I don't know if they're still alive. Do you know if they're still alive? I'm pretty sure at least one of them. I know Marvel's guy, he's gone, right? But they're still
Yes.
doing Marvel comics.
Yep. The
So
yeah. So the thing is though is what they typically do here though, if you've noticed, before someone passes away, there's usually another offshoot of the comic or whatever, and there's another artist that's already working on it.
so
So it's not like you just die off and there's nobody to pick up. They might die off and that particular verse may end, but the other verses are still going because those creators are still there.
Okay, so you're not. Do you think they pick up from where the last author picked
No,
left off, or
no.
just no
They
new
they
story?
the way they justify that is if you remember, there's a lot of multiversing when it
Mm,
comes to comics over here. So they just write it off as in that verse just ended. And now you still have these other 5 or 6 verses that are going on, and that's where you go from.
yeah. And for I would imagine for at least American TV shows, it's almost like seasonal or much shorter than anime. It feels like that, maybe. Maybe for comic books, maybe it's just as long, but it feels like their story is very condensed, while animes is just one
Well,
story.
no, they condense it for TV, for
Mm,
film, for like that. But if you go and look, there's hundreds of different additions to comics based on a character out there.
just one chapter though, like one part of their story or their life, right?
Like there's an entire uh 60, 70, 80, 90 fucking string of comics for a specific storyline or a specific, well, how do they say it? Arc. A
Arc.
specific
Okay.
arc.
Okay. I'm not very much into
Um,
comic books, but that's what I was wondering. Like, how far do they go?
I mean, some of them are only like 20, 30. you know. It's like if you go and look at Superman, for example, you might have Superman 1, and then this dude over here might have Superman 52.
Mm,
You know, the that's what I mean. It's not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, season 2. 1,
mm,
2. It's 1 to wherever the hell they stop, and then it can go 30s, 40s, 50s,
yeah.
and then at the same time, you've got multiple artists working on different arts for the same character. So you may have Superman, and I'm just making this up, but for example, I could be writing Superman, the Ultimate arc, and then somebody else may be writing Superman, the Empowerment arc, or somebody else might be writing Superman, the Stasis arc. And
Mm,
each one of those arcs may have up to 30, 40, 50, books in that arc.
okay. I'm just wondering if those arcs are normally like this is the conflict, this is the problem, this is the person that he's saving, this is the person that he's fighting duel with, and then once that story is done, then the next villain conflicts problem is
Oh no,
occurring.
no, that's not how the arc works.
Mm,
No, there'll be multiple villains within an arc because the arc isn't based on the villains. The arc is based on the character arc himself, the
okay.
character himself.
So
So let's take for instance Demon Slayer's manga.
mm,
That's based on Tanjiro himself and what his goals are, and you will have multiple villains all the way through it.
yeah, but also you have like the problem of like his sister, and then the other two characters, their
Right,
conflict, their things.
right.
um
Like in one of the Batman arcs, the problem is the death of Robin,
mhm.
and the arc is on based on the development of Batman after the death of Robin.
Yeah, okay.
You know, So he goes through multiple villains in that arc before ultimately getting to the person that was responsible.
Yeah, well,
You
most
know,
of the time I would think with Batman, especially with that one, it'd be like Harley Quinn and Joker. Like he might have to go with the other villains because they're their own kind of standalone things. But for Demon Slayer, they got the whole nine Hashira or not Hashira. What's the Demons Clans group name called?
well, you got the same thing. You got the same thing with Batman. You got Nightwing. You got Robin. You got Batgirl. You
Talk
got
about villains
villains. You got a shitload of villains,
for
and
underneath the Joker.
huh?
Underneath the Joker.
Oh, the Joker united all the villains at one point
Oh, okay. I was.
in the Batman arc into what was, I can't remember what he called them, but
Mm,
yeah, he had ignited a big ass group, and had like, I think it was I can't remember all of them's name, but obviously you had Joker, you had Harley, you had Penguin, you had all the top names, and then you had some of the smaller guys.
Ivy, Penguin,
You had
Bane, Frost.
something crocodile or whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Killer Croc was
Killer
his
Croc. Yeah.
name, and you had a bunch of, he at one point he had united them all
Deadshot.
because the whole idea was to get rid of Batman.
Yeah. But that was a pretty long arc. That one right there.
That was a big ass fucking arc, and I wish I could remember the name of the group because they gave themselves a name because it was that arc.
Mm-hmm.
That was literally the name of the arc.
Now, let's just imagine during that arc, during the creation of that arc, they were getting closer and closer to maybe retiring or wrapping up the story. And the person that was making the arc ends up dying. Do you think in America they would have kept that story going?
I don't know. I would say probably not, in my opinion. I would think it would stop right there because the original brainchild behind it wouldn't be there. They would probably kick it over to a different verse, and you would have some other arc from another uh, person running it. But then again, I don't know for sure. I
So,
mean, I hadn't been in the comic book world in a while, but seems like that's what I remember back when I was collecting them.
so knowing that your life is short, as anybody else's life is short, you never know what's going to end. That's something I've already told myself, at least for me, is if I started making one, I want to know how it ends, and I want to tell somebody how it ends. I want to let somebody like this is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to end. And if anything ever happened to me, end it for me. Meaning,
Right.
finish it
And
for
I
me.
get that. I get that. I get
Mm.
that. And I believe if that had been the instruction, that probably would be what happened. But more often than not, a lot of artists by the time they get to that point with whatever they're working on, where it be a movie series, you know, or a TV series or an anime series, or I think they covet what they built
Mm.
so much that they don't want anybody else to mess with it because they fear that, okay, I may tell you, Grumpy, if something ever happens to me, this is how I want my manga to end.
Mm-hmm.
And while I know personally you would make sure that would happen, um, at the same time, there's people out there that would tell you that would not trust it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they just keep their mouth shut. They're like, I want to tell him to finish it, but what's the real chances that he's going to finish it the way I want him to? If I tell him this is what I want and he agrees to it, but then I'm dead and gone and can't do anything about it, and he says, you know what, this arc isn't quite what I wanted, what I think it should be. Let me do a little tweaking here, and then what they built is changed,
Yeah.
and they're not there to defend it. So
Mm.
I feel like that's one of the things that's always in the back of some of these creators' minds, and why they don't leave instructions on how to finish the projects that they're working on, because they don't want it to get jacked up by somebody who says, sure, I'll do that for you, Grumpy, and as soon as Grumpy's in the dirt, fuck that, I don't like this arc this way, I'm going to change it. You know what I
I
mean?
don't like the original intent. Yeah. Especially in our day and age, that could easily happen. I can easily foresee that. But certain TV shows, let's say like One Piece is being a good example. I feel like at some point they need to end it because either A, the creator is gonna pass away, or two, it's gonna be either just say we're keeping this alive for money or for the fan base. Like, at what point do you think a TV show needs to just go, all right, guys, this is actually gonna be the end because we don't know how long we can keep going,
I think
and
that's
it's just
when
just not
I
money.
I think you kill something like that when the content is no longer providing what is required.
Okay. Well, I said
'Cause
all
I feel
this.
like if I get a room of 6 people and all of them write the content and all of them can provide the content in a way that the public or whatever want it to be provided, then any one of them dropping off and them continuing it would be fine.
Mhm.
However, if it gets to a point where you're not seeing the views, you're not seeing everything that's there, you're not the people are no longer being satisfied, that's when you need to start looking for a way to end it.
Yeah. Well, okay, but to say, I'd say all this because as of yesterday, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Akira Toriyama, I actually know how to say this one because I've heard his name so many times, as of yesterday, was officially announced dead at 68 years old. The news has reported that he actually died a week ago. It actually wasn't yesterday. They didn't want to announce it. I guess it for maybe families and loved ones in the funeral and letting those who were closest to him maybe have their time of grieving before they let the fans know about it. And there is. Can I get a mic check from you quick? Just make sure I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm here.
just make sure. Okay. I guess to make sure that have fans get their hat things. And there's been so many videos, and this was happened last night. It was announced around. I want to say it was around 10 or 11. Closer around that time, my wife went to bed. I saw the news, and there's already like so many videos of like grown men, talking about age or our age, and even a little younger, all just crying about this man's passing because the manga was still going and he was definitely still active in it, and it will no
Right.
longer be going. This is the end of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z universe. We will never find out what Goku's final level is. We'll never know if Goku could actually beat Superman because his power level eventually got there. We'll never know if Goku and kids of Piccolo will ever have a girlfriend, because a lot of people was hoping Piccolo would date I forget the little girl's teacher. I forget her name. We'll never know any of these answers. There's so many questions left unanswered now in this guy, because in Japan, once a TV show is director or writer's done, so is the TV show. And for those who haven't already, go get you a glass. We're gonna do a quick toast. Um, I got a a lot of Pepsi and a little bit of Jack. Apparently, I didn't do it right. Something tells me I'm not gonna swig this whole thing. I'm gonna take a little sip, but we're gonna take a little quick shot toast to him and his passing. May his fans and may his memory be remembered. He will be missed by a large community, including myself. That I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z, and may he rest in peace. Cheers.
Well,
Mm, mm. Oh, I don't drink. I don't. I don't drink. Okay. Uh it really does suck. Do you have any fond memories? Like, who's your favorite character in Dragon Ball Z?
mine,
Yeah,
I was a Piccolo fan from start.
Piccolo as well. Okay,
Yeah.
even though he was a villain at first.
The thing is, though, I could see where it was going with him, dude. I could
Mhm.
see they put him and Goku in too many situations early on
Yeah,
that it wasn't gonna eventually flip to where it took both of them.
yeah,
I
and
could see it,
I,
and I just love Piccolo's whole like, oh well, fuck you too, you know,
yeah, I like this two energy, but I also like his dad energy. His dad energy was on the next level. Like,
bro. When you stand in front of the ultimate being at the time in the universe and die,
hmm
so that the kid of what used to be your hated rival lives. That is taking dad love to a different fucking level.
Yeah, and you know, you saw, if you're a person that watched original, you just saw this like evil, conniving, this person just wanted to do to do horrible things, into this person that's like didn't know what love is, until he saw into the eyes of a child that wasn't even his, and gone, yeah, I can understand why people care and why people love it. This
And then,
is
wait, the greatest thing was the comment that he makes when they get back from Namek, when they all think Goku's dead, and he goes through all these memories, and all he can think of is, "You son of a bitch, why did you send me back? I just wanted to fight beside you. That's all the fuck I wanted.
mm,
Just, you could have left me there, bro. I had your back. What the hell?"
yeah.
Yeah, and that's when you really realize, yeah, that he's had a huge fucking change in his reality.
Mm-hmm. Um, I feel like he was undermined. A lot of the other Z fighters were undermined, but it was mostly because, you know, the studio, according to the studio, according to him, he had a statement. The studio wanted him to focus on Goku because in Japan, Goku was the favorite, but everywhere else, it was like Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin. Hell, there's even some fans of Yamcha, and Tien. So, like, and what was the last one? Yamcha, Tien, Krillin. What was the little vampire?
Yeah, Jirobe.
Yeah, Jirobe. Was it what was the little vampire kid with the little dot and all white skin and really small, short?
Oh,
Chaozu.
Pelsu.
Yeah, Chaozu. There was fans for all those, but they were just kind of left in the dust. But yeah, as far as I remember, like in the manga I've seen, because I kept up with some of the spoilers, because you know it's I might go back and read it someday. They were just fighting a god goat like creature that was like even stronger than some destruction gods. Goku was powering up to become the next god of like life, but Vegeta was to become a god of destruction. Goku,
Yep.
and
There
then
were there were two sides of the same coin.
yeah, and then Frieza hit Frieza Black, Frieza level black, in which she was like all black instead of gold.
Yep.
So like that was like the last time I heard of it, but I don't know, man. I really wish he would have ended it at some point where it's just like, hey, Goku and Vegeta made it. Here's power level, and then we're done, because now we're never gonna see that. It's gonna be like, even if you watch Dragon Ball TV, the TV series, you may never get to the end now.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Here's a good one. Everybody always talks about all the Z fighters and their favorite Z fighter, but who was your favorite female in the Dragon Ball universe?
Okay. Well, I hate to be that kind of person, but in which way? Power level or in like appeal?
All the way around.
Oh, well, I know she was eventually canon in the mangas, but not in the TV series. But Android 21, that turned into the other, like she was actually the wife of Doctor, I want to say Doctor Jirobe, the evil scientist. But she actually had the cells of Boo in her. She was
Yeah.
she was very attractive. She was in the Dragon Ball Z games as well. And again, she came canon in the mangas, but not in the TV series. So, like, that's kind of a
I wish I
catch
could remember
21.
her name right now. I cannot remember her
Was she
name.
a movie?
Huh?
Was she in a movie?
I don't remember if she was in a movie or not, but she was
Tell me her
she
traits.
was
I can tell you who she is.
multiple personality syndrome.
Dragon Ball Z. She was the girl that had blue hair, then went to blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a figurine of her behind me. She was in the original show, and she was one of the characters that Kira Toriyama totally forgot about, so much so when someone asked him where she's at in the series, he went, "Who?"
Launch.
Launch, yeah. He totally forgot who she
Thank you,
was
sweetie.
altogether. Like, he does not remember her at all, even though he's the one that just made her and put her in the original Dragon Ball series. There's so
I
many characters
love
he forgot.
Launch. I felt like Launch could have had a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
From the the soul aspect, that it was like she had two different personalities. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching another anime lately called Radiant,
Yeah.
and the girl in Radiant reminds me a lot of Launch because she's very, very sweet until stressed out. And then when she's stressed out, she goes ape shit. A whole different personality takes over. And it is, I love that dynamic. I love them graphically showing that everybody has both sides, you
Yeah,
know?
and she was kind of the comic relief in the show, but for mostly for Master Roshi, because Master Roshi is like the
Perfect
yeah
old goat.
Pervio goat. He's the epitome of that kind of man. And anytime he act up, she would be like the deterrent. It's like, oh, act up and get shot at. Uh, um, and again, it's the one thing that kept him in line. It was a mean of
Am I
comedy.
wrong? Am I wrong? And guys, I understand. I'm probably going to get jumped on for this comment, but am I wrong in saying I just never was a Chi Chi fan? Chi Chi
I
just
I
Chi Chi just even when she was a kid,
mm,
Chi Chi was overbearing.
yeah, she was very I wouldn't say demanding, but
Yeah, hell you say you gonna marry me? The
yeah,
shit you say that's demanding as hell.
yeah, she yeah,
There you go,
entitled.
entitled.
Yeah.
Entitled.
So yeah, entitled would be definitely better the word, because she was a princess, right? She may have been like strong, but she was still daddy's little girl. She still got
She
whatever
was
she
Rock
wanted.
King's baby girl.
Uh-huh. And it's so weird to knowing Chi Chi is literally just mom. Okay.
Yeah. She went from being a character that literally was in some fights in
Yeah.
Dragon Ball
Mm-hmm.
to being a character that was in no fights and just comic relief when you needed to plug her in to make it look like she was freaking the hell out.
Well, she was the only one Goku actually was afraid of. So, like, even in the current day, Goku's still afraid of Chi Chi. And she was the only.
Afraid of her. He just.
Well, every time she gets.
Think that Corvo's afraid of me.
Nah, I just love you.
Like every time, at least in the Dragon Ball Z series, every time Chi Chi would come running at Goku all angry, Goku would be freaking out. Like, that's the only person he would just like, oh, in only time, you're like, oh, fight, yay, let's go. Let's throw them hands. Nah, she's like, he's like, nope, bye. It's like, she wasn't strong, but like, Goku didn't want to fight her. He was.
It was just it was too much aggravation because he knew two things. One, she's not going to hold back, and two, he has to hold back.
Yeah.
So he was in a no-win situation. He can't hurt the woman he loves.
It won't make him
but
food
she's
either.
Damn still going to hurt him, you know?
Yeah, won't make him food either. Which you?
Huh?
I thought I heard stealthy for a second there.
No.
So, yes, he passed away, and I don't know. They may have told us why he passed away or what he passed away of.
They said that he died in the article of for the description was blood gathering between the skull and the brain. I can't remember the actual medical terminology for it.
Okay, so you had bleeding around the brain.
Yeah, like a subderm hematoma or something like that.
Oh man, that had to have been painful, and like knowing that you have to think so much, and your creative juices going.
Imagine your brain feeling like it's being squashed.
Yeah, being squashed and being almost drowning. Oh, that has to be. And I guess he caught it too late, or by the time they found out there was there was not much they could do. It just sucks. That's something I always wondered myself, like with my brain, like if I ever have like a brain fog, it's like, oh shit, something going up here. Do I want to get my checked up? Like if I have brain fog and I can't remember something, or I feel a little. It's like
brain
nope.
fog has been a permanent part of my existence since I had COVID the first time.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually said after COVID, after they got the vaccine, a lot of people have said noticed they have some brain fog, and I'm hoping that's not happened to me because I like to be able to consciously think and not have to stutter on my words, which I do at times, but I don't like it. But yeah, not only did that passing, but you might have noticed a lot of lately. There's been a lot of YouTube channels going under of lately. One of them being Game Theory. I'm sure you've heard of that one. Game Theory, its creator stepping down. It's not closing, just the original creator is stepping down from being the forefront. We had a bunch of other channels that I wasn't too fond of myself, but then one hit yesterday or the day before that, they would hit big time for me, and that was RoosterTeeth. We talked about that a little earlier. RoosterTeeth is now officially closed. For those who remember Ruby, Red versus Blue, let's see, what other ones did they do? I know Red versus Blue was one of my favorite ones, and Ruby was Death Battle. Like, that to me is a pretty big one. Apparently did Camp, and a bunch of other TV shows. You liked Ruby, right? You watched it too,
yes.
Right? And you had the DVDs.
Which reminds me, when we were talking the other day, you said that you had never seen the Ruby version that wasn't CGI.
Yeah, I didn't see the one that was not CGI.
The first 2 seasons of non-CGI is on the drive.
Okay, I'll go check that out one. Oh, okay. So I liked Ruby. I really did. I bought the DVDs. I liked it. So I liked Red versus Blue. I thought that was like my childhood, especially around the Halo days. That stuff was so funny. But Death Battle. Now they're closing down, but they're gonna be selling out the assets. They're gonna be selling out to other people, and of course it's because it's a multitude of different people, creators in one area. I hope, from my standpoint, I hope they keep Death Battle still going, because Death Battle is a good YouTube channel. I think they're very creative. They're very they have a lot of dorky stuff in there, and of course it's a big what if theory fight, right? If those two people would fight, who would in their opinions would win? And Goku versus Superman was always a big debate amongst them in the community. People saying Superman would win. Well, they would say Superman would win because of how granular the power Superman can be. But Goku was still continuing, right? His power was still growing, right? But so was Superman. But now that Toriyama's passing, I guess Goku will never be able to keep up with Superman, because his comic book will still be going, and Goku's is. Yeah, I am.
Look, you say that it ends like that, but you haven't thought about the fact that because his power can still grow, it doesn't matter if he has passed or not. You're never gonna know.
Here's the way you could end that debate,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. What happens when a Saiyan gets beaten?
He gets stronger.
Okay. And it's usually relevant to the power of the person he's fighting, correct?
Yes.
So what happens if Superman beats Goku?
If it ever became canon, and as long as Superman didn't kill him, he would get stronger.
Okay. There.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Just put it in. Someone make a canon one. Say it's canon. Goku fought Superman. Goku.
Here's the thing: neither one of them is gonna fight the other one anyway.
At the end of the day, it's gonna be more like a bromance. It'll be like, damn dude, you're buff. Like, damn dude, you can't die.
Well,
yeah,
it's like two sides of the coin and the same side. Goku's Japan's Superman, and America's America's Superman, right? And each one of them have like a person to look up to. It's like this is someone trying to become stronger and better, and almost like pure in the justice sense.
Well, it's like them having to get around the whole thing of, if you die and you're brought back by the Dragon Balls and you die again, the Dragon Balls can't bring you back. They found a loophole for that shit with Goku, didn't they? They were like, hey, I don't know what the fuck, but we were gonna try to move this thing off of Goku or focus on Gohan, but that shit kind of tanked. So we need to find a loophole, and we need the front runner back, because this shit is ugly.
Yeah. But yeah, I want those things. Someone to buy off Team Death Battle. I don't know if Red versus blue. I'm having a brain fog right now. Red versus blues to keep on going, and I
That damn Jack done got a hold of you.
maybe a little bit, but I'm hoping it's not in a bad way because I don't want to start crying. I think Ruby is ended, right? I'm pretty sure Ruby's already had its conclusion.
I think Ruby is ended, yes. I believe you're correct in saying that.
Okay, so if long as those things have their conclusions, I'm happy. Is there any like manga or TV show that's going right now that you would be like just heartbroken if they just go, yep, and before it ends, we're done?
Mm.
Like, you imagine the show right now that you go, yeah, if that ends right now, I'm gonna be a very upset person.
Really Black Clover.
Black Clover.
Black
for
Clover?
Sure.
Okay, so if the maker of Black Clover just ends up one day just going, all right, and can't continue on because the person that made it is dead, that would be pretty heartbreaking for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
trying to
mean,
think.
who doesn't want to see what that dumbass Asta does next?
Oh, I like a lot of
I don't
manga.
have no magic power, but I'm gonna run at this thing that is destroying the world with this big ass sword.
I don't have a lot of animes that I'm currently watching that I could feel like that. I would say maybe My Hero Academia, but realistically, I don't feel like they're like there. It feels like that show is coming to a conclusion. Like they feel like there's going to be an end with the next 2 seasons. Maybe Demon Slayer, but I don't know how far Demon Slayer is in the manga. It could be already done in the manga.
Imagine if you're in the midst of, I don't know, the season before he's about to encounter Mr. Big Badass, and then it's just up and we're done. He died. You're like, what? Fuck? Huh?
Like, how does he die? We'll never know. He
doesn't because the creator died and he wasn't written a death scene.
Yeah. I hope they finish it up, but I like anime series that are short. I do. I like anime series that are maybe 25 episodes or maybe 2 seasons and that's it. Like, good example, Classroom Assassins or Assassin Classroom or whatever way you want.
But at the same time, I think there's some animes that are too fucking short.
Oh yeah, like for me, Outlaw Star. I feel like there was a lot more going on with that one. I'm sorry.
For me, I feel like there was more to be said about another. I mean, you finally got down to the gist of what was going on, and then we're done now. We're not doing another season. We're not going to go further with this. Or The King's Game.
Oh man, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because you know, like The King's Game, you finally figured out in the last episode what actually was going on, and instead of another season that shows them on a path to resolve that, we're done.
I just thought about one. If they would have done it for I'm trying to remember, not Ruby. For some reason, my brain thinking Violent Evergarden. If they would have done that to Violent Evergarden, like that, like I said before, that movie, I never watched a anime season, then 3 lines of a movie and cried as hard as I ever cried in this before. I've never cried this hard in my life when it comes to watching TV series. They would have ended before finding out what happened to what actually happened to the soldier that she was in love with. I would have been heartbroken because that was pulling on my heartstrings so hard. So yeah, I just
out now.
That light's still on, boy.
All right. So, example, what if
Daddy is not streaming, he is podcasting. Get your butt out this room before I beat him.
now imagine if it was Rise of the Shield Hero. Because they did 2 seasons to kind of explain what was going on. The 3rd season was more about a specific incident outside of what was going on.
Yeah.
Imagine if they never went back and finished the original story.
Yeah. They're on this. They're past the turtle season. I call it the turtle arc because turtle.
Yep.
But they're past it now.
Oh yeah. So there's one that pissed me the fuck off. When they never did another season of
Is it wrong
Is
to pick
it
up?
okay to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Ah,
Because, dude, there was so much more they could have done with that.
yeah, they got to.
So fucking much. They did 2 seasons, a season on the girl, and then that's it.
So wait a second. Let me ask you this real quick. Have you got to the season where they go to the very lowest dungeon there ever is, and him and that one elf girl has to escape while this one creature is hunting them down? Have you watched that
Yeah.
one? Okay.
Yes.
So that's as far as I've gotten. When they got out of that dungeon after that little thing was hunting them down after she wanted revenge on the group of people that killed her previous guild. Spoilers. That one was so good, but yeah, I do want more. I feel like there is more, cause like isn't the whole point of the series is to beat the dungeon, right? According to gods,
Right.
it's like
There's a lot of animes that I feel like they stop early.
mhm.
And then, like you said, there's a lot of animes that continue going. Like, honestly, I love Bleach. I'm a huge Bleach fan.
Yeah.
But at some point, Bleach went too long. You know,
Mhm.
like Naruto was another one.
Oh yeah.
Naruto was good, and then after they got some semblance of a resolution,
Mhm.
they kept going.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, what are we going for now? Give us the next goal, and it really wasn't clearly defined.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, well, he promised he was going to be one day be this, so we're going to keep it going until we can figure out how to write him in as this.
yeah, like
Okay.
Well, his whole goal was to become the next Hokage. He became the
Right.
Hokage. That should have been it. Like,
Yeah.
you're not Hokage. I don't care about your son. I'm just gonna say that, bluntly. I don't care about your son. And any other like you became like that was like Goku said, I wanted to become Super Saiyan. Hit Super Saiyan, done. Like if he did say that, right? That was the dream. That was the goal. Hit Hokage. You hit it. Why are you still going? Well, unless this is the cash grab. And I said before, I watched Boruto. I didn't watch a lot of it, mind you, but I watched Boruto. The best scenes are with like the old crew. It's best when Naruto is fighting. It's best when Sasuke is fighting. It's better when Inosuke is fighting. It's better when any of the original ninja are fighting. Why? Because they're the real characters. They're the actual cast. No one cares about Boruto or the sister or their other nieces and nephews and friends.
It's because they didn't give them anything to
Latch
care
onto?
about.
Yeah, really latch onto. But it's like the fight scenes. I it goes back to the quality of anime now that's going to such a high standard now.
Here's one. I could tell you one that both of us would be pissed off if they didn't finish it, and it's not even about the story so much as about the fact that there's certain matches that haven't been made yet. Imagine if they never finished Record of Ragnarok. You know how mad you'd fucking be?
It's like, who won? Never gonna tell you.
Never gonna tell you. Are you still here or are you not?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
The humans win or the gods win? You decide. I don't want to decide. You tell me who won.
Give me the fucking show.
If you want to go opera with it and say the gods win, bro, I'm here for the ride. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been into watching opera anime. Have you watched a lot of opera animes where there's like just straight up like there's no good endings? Yeah, just like it's just terrible.
Like Rostafont. Rostafont was like, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah, there's
coming in now.
Like if you want some like two real
she's
moments
somewhere and she's a what?
Yeah, if you want some two real moments, there's out there.
Another one. There's another one. There, in my opinion, I don't give a shit what nobody says. There is not a clearly defined ending satisfactory to Ergo Proxy.
Ooh, no, there's not.
Because I mean, what do? You find out that you're a clone of the original Proxy. Okay, so y'all throw down. Okay, you find out Riel is a clone of spoilers of Riel. Okay, so now we got two clones of people that are essentially in love with each other. but nobody knows what happened to them after everything went down. It just kind of ends, you know? And you're just like, wait, do they end up together? Do they not end up together?
Yeah, like kind of like a sad anime. It's more
Like
sad.
what the hell? Oh wait, the entire lab that housed everything that was, you know, keeping Riel sane and who she was is destroyed. So did she go ape shit? I mean, tell me something, people.
And you will probably never know unless you probably if there's a manga still going on.
It's just like, what the hell are you thinking?
Like yeah, of course it was like just the other day there was an anime that I always liked
Oh
watching.
yeah, Claymore. That's another one.
Oh yeah, I liked Claymore. I really did.
Claymore was a fantastic anime.
That was such a.
But they never actually ended it. They just said, "Okay, we're done. This is where we're stopping."
Yeah, I might just see if there's a manga of that one. But I know for this one anime I watched like a couple years back. It was called Alchemist and the Hero, which was pretty much like a demon lord and hero kind of story, but it was more like a what if those two became the heroes of the world and become lovers. I was always going like, where's the next season? Where's the next season? Where's the next season gonna happen? And like I found out, oh, there's never gonna be another season. But the manga's still going. I'm like, oh, I gotta go read this manga. And I'm reading it now. But unlike that, you know, the anime series where they just stop it right there because, well, the creator's no longer alive. That's just gonna be hard. Oh, it's gonna be so hard. So yeah.
What about eating through the dungeon right now?
Oh, the one about the dungeon cuisine.
Dungeon and Delicious in Dungeon.
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, that manga is weird, but the TV show is actually really charming. It's on Netflix if anybody wants to check it out. It's you don't trust me. Even hey, mom, if you're watching, go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's actually a pretty charming one. You don't need to have anything special or understand a lot of things. It's kind of a funny, goofy kind of show, but at the same time, it it has a weird charm to it. It's a nice one. I like the music of it. Like I even had literally I had the song on my phone. Huh?
Do we know how it ends with the sister?
Oh, do we know how it ends with a sister? So far in the manga, no. So if the manga doesn't know, to the TV show doesn't know. But I hope it's not one situation where it's just like, let's see how far we can go before the fans going, all right, enough's enough, please. Come on, sister. Let's wrap this up. Yeah, like, you know, saving a sister shouldn't be that long, but making food inside of a dungeon, you can go on forever for that one, right?
You can do that shit forever.
Yeah, like there's so many creatures and gourmets and ways of cooking things. You can make a whole slew of it, but then going, okay, what's the real world counterpart to that? Because I want to make that. Because, spoilers, there was one episode that ate literally golden coins of bugs.
Yep.
So how does that work in real life? Yeah. Beetles, but they made like ice cream that tastes like fairly fruity or something like that. I don't know. It's sharp.
Beetles have the shiny shells, so they can be considered coins for jewelry.
Yeah, jewelry. So it's pretty cool. I like the TV show, and I'm hoping to do more.
Along with butterflies, technically speaking, because people wear living butterflies in their hair.
Well, you got people that eat crickets and ants.
Of course, I was just thinking the mimics remind me of I forget the crabs that go inside of shells. What's it called? You have
hermit crabs.
Yeah, hermit crabs, but really big. So if it's a crab, I never ate a hermit crab before. I don't think anybody does because they're usually so cute and so small. Probably none of them meat on those things. But if you put them in like huge forms, I'm sure they taste like crab, right? So just get a crab and then do what they do in the TV shows.
Then a crawfish should taste like a lobster or a crab.
Oh man, crawfish boils. Oh, I miss those. Oh god, I'm hungry. There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot of animes out there. Have you noticed this lately? A lot of animes about cooking.
Yeah.
Like those, like
playing to us being fat asses.
It's like there's a lot of one about cooking and about farming. It's like, what? Are you trying to tell us something? Japan? Are you?
It seems like it. It seems like they are, huh?
Yeah, like go and make yourself food. Stop buying it. Stop depending on restaurants. Go get the things. Go home and cook it. I can't tell you how many times.
I keep waiting for like fast food to come to sponsor an anime to push it the other way, just because they're like,
Wait. What about? Okay, I know the
oh yeah,
sound.
McDonald's.
McDonald's? Yeah, but it's like, wasn't there one about like, okay, my mom, remember this is just a cartoon. The devil get a part-time job? Isn't that an anime? Where he literally works.
The devil is a part timer.
Yeah, he works at a fast food McDonald's. Well, it's not really a McDonald's, but it looks like a McDonald's. Like we all know what it is. It's between the lines. It's obviously a fast food joint, but it's not about the fast food though, right? It's really like how you use this place is taking over the world, but it's not really about like the burgers and the fries and how to make them better, right? It's not about like the new menu change, you know. You imagine the anime, they had like a promotion season, right? Just at the same time they have a promotion season on the TV show, they have a promotion season in real life of the exact same food. I would go, dude. I would go there. I'd like, as long as you had like, you know, promotional art from the TV show to this, I would do it. Of course, how many times I've seen promotional artwork for Dragon Ball Z stuff in Japan and their McDonald's, but in America, we get nothing. We get trolls.
We get Super Saiyans in America. Where you can go and be surrounded by all kind of Dragon Ball Z shit and all kind of pops and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted them.
Oh, the McDonald's link.
Yeah, I've heard and seen sometimes like, oh, they have it in Australia. They have it in Japan. Oh, they have it in Europe. I'm like, okay, where's America's turn? Come on, baby. I'll go up there. I don't care if it's just the paper bag. I'll take that paper bag and I will laminate it and put it behind me. It'd be a wall piece. Man.
It'd be like us walking into a restaurant that was all Genshin themed or all fucking themed after Zelda or some shit. We would take the forks and put them up on the damn showcase. What's this? This is the fork I ate. It is called the Fork of Ocarina. Damn it! And don't touch it.
Oh man. For I think it was in Korea. I could be wrong, but they had a Genshin Impact.
I did go to the Super Saiyan restaurant, and I was happy because I was surrounded by Dragon Ball shit everywhere.
Yeah, in Florida. Yeah, I saw that. I want to go there someday. But I think in Korea or maybe Japan, they had like a KFC Genshin Impact thing. People were trying to walk out the store with the cardboard cutouts of the characters. Me, I'm like, not a bad idea. You take that when I get this one. Bye. Just walk out the store.
I mean, I've got the dragon cutout back here from one of the school events that we had.
I missed that about the theaters when they used to actually put the cardboard cutouts, and then after like a month after the show was out of the theater, you could get them for like $5. And you bring them home and you stand them up in the corner and be like, yeah. Now they just have posters and they roll them bitches up and put them up for later. For when they do re-showings.
A lot of places don't do that no more. I used to go to Walmarts and GameStops and all that stuff like that. Like, hey, I know you have a promotion for this stuff. We're going to take it down. Okay, can I get them? Nowadays, it's like, no. It's like, why? Because we don't want you to go back and sell them on eBay. No, I'm the person that wants to buy from eBay. Can I just get it from you so that I don't have to do that? It's like, no, our employees have it. I'm like, your employees don't have it. They're doing the same thing. You know that. I know. We all know it. I go check Facebook Market. I'll find a couple GameStop promotional stuff right now. Anyways, that will be it for this week. I will be streaming later on the place to Genshin Impact. Yesterday we put this together, so which I did try to find out. It is black in the back, but I'm wondering if I can, take a picture of it and get a 3D model of it. If I can 3D print a clear resin one Lego piece. I can put it back here, and then I can.
Why you gonna go through all that? I mean, lay it down on a piece of paper, draw the outline, and color it in black. Scan it in somewhere, and turn the image into a SVG, and then you can have a model of it.
Yeah, I want to see if I can get a model, do a clear resin model, so I can actually, because I try to Dremel a couple holes back here, show light to it. It does show light to it, but not as a square. It does like a round circle. So I guess not enough lights being penetrated, or maybe I could try the LED light, put it in there, and see if it shines better. I'm gonna try a few things out to see what I can do with it, because I do want to get this glowing in the background, because I think this is cool. I want the rest of them. You're probably gonna get, you didn't check your local Target, make sure they still have them, because we were already getting really low at ours. I want to get the rest of them if I can and put them back there. But do you have anything you want to talk about or announce before we?
Nope, that's it. I'm good.
All right, I guess Rollover didn't get here in time. So hoping to get his thoughts and his ideas and things on it, because I know it's always good to get his sense in them. Yeah, I guess one more person.
No, he's not a big anime person.
Oh, he's not a big anime person?
No, but he's a huge comic book person.
Oh, so we could have got that perspective a lot more too. Though you're a pretty big comic book person too, but not like, I don't know how in severity. I would say you're like a equal balance, where he might be just full on comic book.
Yeah, when you start talking about DC and Marvel, that man was a whole different ball game.
Okay, well, maybe next time.
We do a lot of the your death battle. We do a lot of that just talking. Like, okay, and he'll throw out this person, and I'd be like, okay, so this person. He's like, damn you. Okay, this person. I'm like, oh, you fuckhead. This person. He's like, well, shit. We do a lot of that.
Oh, okay. Well, always be interesting, good one to talk about it during the podcast if we can get him back on here. But then again, I'm still looking forward to your one associate getting back with me about the Crunchyroll, because that'd be a very informative podcast. But we'll stay tuned to that one if everybody's interested. We're trying to get information out that one.
I hear door movement.
Anyways, we're gonna call it there. As for everybody, be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below, share it with all your family and friends. And as always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye.
Bye, guys.
1,